Hi, my name is Adam, and this is a paper that we published in the Transactions on Accessible Computing earlier this year. Speech sound disorders are a collection of difficulties producing or perceiving individual speech sounds. There's limited epidemiological data gathered for prevalence, but estimates suggest that between 2 and 25% of children between the ages of 5 and 7 will have some type of speech sound disorder. Children commonly work with a speech-language pathologist to improve production quality, but speech therapy needs to be frequent and high intensity to be effective, so clinic sessions alone aren't enough to make progress. Home practice is often used to increase the treatment dosage between clinic visits, and these sessions are led by caregivers, which means that the home practice is dependent on caregivers' schedule. Additionally, home practice can be pretty boring for kids. To address these issues, we previously introduced a speech therapy game called Apraxia World that aims to make practice more engaging and reduce the dependency on caregivers as administrators. This current study investigates the long-term use of Apraxia World, particularly in terms of engagement over the treatment period and therapy gains made by the children. Apraxia World is a two-dimensional side-scrolling platformer game where players control a monkey character to navigate obstacles and collect objects as they try to get to the end of the level. The players need to gather stars to keep their character moving, otherwise it slows down. To earn these stars, the player has to complete speech prompts before the stars are added to their inventory. Once the player has enough stars, they can go ahead and finish the level, and then their therapy practice for the day is done. This slide shows two screenshots, one with the title Screen for Apraxia World, which shows the name of the game with leaves and vines wrapped around the letters. It also shows all of the monkey characters lined up under the logo. The second screenshot shows one of the monkey characters standing on a rock holding a hammer in a grassy level. There's a wooden arrow staked in the ground showing the player which way to go and some coins for them to collect along the way. A clinician will select 10 words for a child to practice during a treatment period, and the child aims to complete 100 repetitions of these words per day with the game. This keeps the treatment high intensity at home. The clinician selects stimulable sounds for practice, meaning that the child is able to correctly produce the sound, at least part of the time, which is important so that they have some internal context for what a correct production sounds like. The game delivers two types of feedback: knowledge of response feedback, which tells the child if their production was correct or not, and knowledge of correct response, which is implemented by providing an on-demand pronunciation sample that a child can play to hear what they should be emulating. To examine long-term use of Apraxia World at home, we recruited 10 participants to complete an 11-week-long protocol, which consisted of setup, an initial treatment phase, a break, and then a final treatment phase. Children also practiced different sets of words in the two phases. We set up the protocol this way so that we could compare two different pronunciation evaluation techniques, with each method providing feedback in only one phase. Please see the manuscript for this analysis. Two of our primary questions were if children remained engaged in the game-based therapy and what impact this practice had on pronunciation. These are the questions I'll discuss here. One set of participant questionnaires was lost, so we had 9 sets of responses to analyze. All children said that they enjoyed playing Apraxia World, and almost all of them said that they wanted to keep playing. Based on the game logs, 9 of the 10 participants actually did play the game at least once the protocol was over. Most children responded that they were trying very hard while playing, and caregivers backed this up by saying that the children remained engaged in the gameplay. We also didn't see the time spent playing change between the treatment phases, again suggesting that children were putting consistent effort into playing the game. To evaluate possible therapy gains, we measured the absolute percent change in correct sounds a child produced in probes before and after a treatment phase. On average, children improved their pronunciation 56.6% when getting feedback from our automatic evaluation engine, and 61.5% when getting feedback from caregivers through the game, although these values aren't significantly different. This is especially encouraging as these improvements compare favorably to more traditional home practice methods. Caregivers also said that the game-based therapy fit easily into their schedules, and all said that they would like to use Apraxia World in some capacity for home practice going forward. Thank you for listening, and I welcome any questions in the chat.